Greetings my lovelies, and thank you for stopping by this circle today. This week's video is a book review of a book that I fell in love with the cover when I first saw it. It was like all over the place on my Instagram feed, so when I found it in my local library I was like, oh hell yes, let me read this. I am reviewing Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagain. Sorry if I'm butchering that. So let's roll. Now I know the adage goes you should never buy a book for your cover, but honestly when you're spending thousands or hundreds and thousands of dollars on a book cover, which is a work of art, and I will fight anyone who dares disagree with me on that point, yeah, sometimes I just buy covers because they're pretty. I do the same thing with wine bottles. It boggles my husband's mind, but whatever, I live my life the way I choose. So the main character in this book is a girl named Jen, and I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciations because this is very Asian inspired. The author is Asian herself, and she wanted to have representation of her culture and ethnicity and literature, which I am all for 100%. So again, sorry for the name butchering. I will do my best. So the main character is Jen, who is of the paper class in her world, which is basically the lowest class that there is. At the highest class you have the pure blood demons, who are like this fusion of human and animal with special magical abilities. Then you have the steel class, that is those who are kind of like half-breeds. Now I will have to say, reading this book gave me strong Inuyasha vibes. And if you don't know, Inuyasha was an anime that I was obsessed with in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was on Adult Swim at like midnight. It's a long ass series, but it does deal with humans and half-breeds and demons. And it's kind of good. Well, it's kind of good. I absolutely love it, but it is a little on the long side. So if you are recovering from anything, give it a go. So the full-blood demons of the moon class are the ones who rule, with the demon king, which is sort of like this ox bull guy who's in charge. Now every year, 8 girls from the paper class are ripped from their homes, thrust into the court, the court, to become courtesans, which is basically a nice word to say whore. Some of the noble paper class push their daughters towards this because it earns them favors from the other demon class, but the vast majority of them are ripped from their homes because they're pretty under threat of their death and the death of their families. So when Jen gets taken and stolen away from her home and thrust into this world of women who are learning to please the demon king, she's really not sure how to make of it. She doesn't want to feel comfortable there, but she can't help but make friends. She makes friends with a couple other girls, and especially the mysterious Ren. And this is where like the representation fairy in me is just like, yay! Because Jen has had no romantic inclinations before. She sees Ren and her mind just goes, and basically it boils down to is that Jen and Ren hook up. And I love it because it's not over sexualized. She starts to develop a crush on her very much in the same way like the heterosexuals do. So like usually she'll notice something, get a flash of something, her heart starts fluttering, she feels sick when she thinks that Ren is meeting somebody else. So yeah, the fact that this is actually a legit representation of lesbianism is awesome. Like, I love it. It's like, yeah, it's amazing. This book also deals with the issues of sexual assault and the main fact that if you are in an abusive relationship where your own sexual autonomy is not something that you have control of, you will eventually convince yourself that you like it. That is a survival mechanism. No girl in this book is shamed for it. They're just looked at as sort of, you're doing what you need to do to survive, which is also a wonderful message for anyone who has been a victim of sexual assault or in an abusive relationship like that. Love it. Love it. So even with all the darker shit that's around it, essentially this is a coming of age story where Jen realizes her own sexuality, comes to terms with it, embraces it with open arms, and says, no one's going to make me be any less than what I am. She's one of the first paper girls ever to fight back, to run away, and that shakes up everything that leads to some other interesting shit happening later on in the story. The world that this story takes place in has layers and is complex, and like I said, it gave me strong Inuyasha vibes, which is one of my all-time favorite animes. So of course I gobbled this up. I think I read this book in like a couple of days. So yeah. So if you've read this book, please comment down below and let me know what you thought of it. What were some of your favorite bits? What were some of your least favorite bits? I'm all open for discussion on this. And if you want to see what else I'm doing around the interweb, you can always check me out on my social media links listed here below. So that is all the time that I have for you today. I wish you a blessed week, and I will see you all next time. Bye!